Dear viewers, my name is Veronica Rose. You're most welcome to today's session. Our special guest today is not a visitor to this channel. This is her second time here. She is from Kenya and she will introduce herself. Diana.
Thank you, Veronica, for having me here, and welcome everybody. My name is Diona. I'm a cybersecurity consultant based in Kenya. I'm also the founder of Wahandisi FM, which is a mentorship initiative of young girls into engineering and technology. On top of that, I'm a cybersecurity researcher, and I also do cybersecurity awareness on various platforms. I'm really passionate about data security and gender equality. Yeah, and I work in the nonprofit space. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. So our topic of discussion today is on threat intelligence. But before we dive deep into that, Diana, what is threat intelligence?
Yeah, threat intelligence is the information that an organization uses to understand the threat that can occur in an organization. And this is through having the valuable insights that are relevant to them in terms of even the risk that can occur to the organization. And it's very important to be very proactive around it. Even looking at the cyber crimes such as phishing, identity theft, online harassment, stalking, invasion of privacy, data breaches. So it's very important for organizations to have a threat intelligence program.
That was well defined. Yeah, so we understand that threat intelligence is challenging because threats are constantly evolving, and this requires businesses to quickly adapt and take action. So through the eyes of the adversary, how would you build a threat intelligence program? Take us through that, Diana.
Thank you, Veronica. And just to look at some statistics first, there's usually an attack, a cyber attack, every 39 seconds in the world. And 63% of the companies take even 6 months before they identify that there was a data breach in their organization, even the major organizations that you know about in this world. So the life cycle of threat intelligence looks like this. First, you have intelligence gathering. This is gathering all the information that you need, all the vulnerabilities that you have in your organization. Then do the initial exploitation, have the command and control. This is just like in case a threat occurs, how do you control that threat? The other thing is data extraction. You know, when you're having every time there's a threat, and we know especially in cybersecurity, and this is something every cybersecurity professional should be aware of, working with data and having those statistics is very important. And also in organizations to identify which data actually are they protecting. And how you build it also is checking how in the initial stage is what assets do the people need, you know, what assets can be attacked and why would they be attacked. Yeah, so that is a brief of the life cycle of the threat intelligence program. Go to proactive prevention, look at who is likely to attack. So there are 3 levels of threat intelligence when you're coming up with a threat intelligence program. Number 1, who is likely to attack? For example, if you're working in a bank, Veronica, you check who is likely to attack in a bank. First is people who don't have money are likely to attack, you know. Number 2, it would be your competitors because of the goodwill of the company. The second thing you look at when you're doing the proactive prevention is what kind of assets that would likely to be stolen. In some organizations, it would be data. In banks, it can be money or the gold. In nonprofits, mostly it would be the data also associated with that nonprofit, especially private data. The second level of threat intelligence of formulating it is monitoring and detection. Ask yourself questions like, is the alert I'm seeing related to something I know to be bad? You know, these alerts that we receive on the computer, and sometimes you ignore them, you are in a hurry and you just press okay. So it's very important to even tell your users, like, once you see alert, have that program in your company, because as much as we keep saying users are the weakest link, it's not necessarily that, because sometimes lack of information can lead to a cyber attack. The second thing you look while you're doing monitoring and detection is, can I quickly assign critically to this action and escalate it? You know, in case you have, once you have identified, in the first one was prevention, once you identified who and what assets. So in case this attack happens, can I quickly escalate it? Will it take me 1 hour to escalate that? Or will it take me 6 hours? Or will it take me even 3 months to solve that? Because again, the cyber security response time, or rather the security response time, is very important to note, because it shows how much can you mitigate that risk and how much can you prevent that risk from happening. The other thing is incident report, and a report by EY showed even like 63% of the companies confess they don't have an incident response plan, of even great organizations that you know. So this is also a call to action, like having that level when you're doing the cyber threat intelligence, in terms of having the incidents response plan. And in the incidents response plan, you record what lessons have I learned from this incident that will help me to be proactive. You have seen, Veronica, for example, you have seen some cyber attacks. We have discussed them and then they went all the way, you know, even in organization, they just disappeared because you found a solution. But documenting every step, even the action that you took, if it was like a DDoS, you know, a distributed denial of service, the actions that you took after that. Because when you're also writing an incident response plan, you see the cost and how you can mitigate it. If it was a vulnerability in your system, you'll solve that. And if next time also that happens, how did you solve that? If you're not the consultant who is there at the moment, or even when a new consultant is getting in, they are able to look like what really happened. And some cyber threat intelligence tools you can use include like the IBM. IBM has tools on cyber threat intelligence. And then there's other like Palo Alto networks. You can also check them out that you can use. When you look at the future of cyber threat intelligence, is encouraging organizations to adopt proactive approaches to solving CTIs is now cyber threat intelligence, proactive, and having defensive security as opposed to reactive security. So yeah, and also using business analytics, because once you are formulating a cyber threat intelligence, having the business analytics is very important to see what is more risky and what advantage does it bring to the business when you spend to mitigate a certain risk. Because you could be spending to mitigate a risk that cannot really escalate, that is really not material to the business, and forget a risk that is really material that could bring the business down. So having also such in mind business analytics, then this ensures, in the end, ensures business continuity and ensures that your business is a going concern even after a threat. Thank you.
That was well explained, Diana. It is also said that there are two types of businesses: those that know that they were hacked and those that are not even aware whether they were hacked or not. Thank you so much for explaining this to us, Diana. Thank you. And
You're welcome, Veronica. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And to our viewers, hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on more of these upcoming sessions. Thank you, Diana.